Hi, and welcome back to the, 70 something episode of the Yarn Junkie podcast. My name is Amber. I am coming to you from my home in Texas where I live with my husband and our 3 daughters and various animals. It's been about 4 weeks since I last sat down and talked to you guys. Christmas has come and gone, so if you celebrate, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate any of the holidays that we just celebrated, happy holidays. I have already taken my tree down. As you can see in the background, there is no Christmas tree. And it's so weird because I keep walking through the house asking my kids, are you sure there was nothing here before the Christmas tree? And they assure me like nothing was there, but it just seems so weird that this is like this giant open space now. Yeah. But so we have had a birthday. Her birthday, we celebrated Tabitha's birthday, second birthday on December 20th. So we just did like a low-key family thing when we had a Christmas celebration with some of our other family on that Sunday. And so we just do family stuff usually for, I have a ghost. Did you see that? So it's the pressure from, it's a closet behind this door, and it's on hinges, but the kids never latch the thing. And so if the air kicks on, it will pull in or whatever. It's like a secret closet. That was really funny though, right? I have a ghost. Yeah, so it was just, we had a good Christmas. We did stay here for Christmas. We had stayed here now like the past couple of years. We had a new tradition of going skiing in the mountains for Christmas with our kids, but since she's been born, it's just been easier for us to stay local and not do that big trip at Christmas. But next year, I feel like it's definitely going to be our year to kick that back up, right? We're going to go down the mountains. Yeah. So I did get some Yarny presents from a couple of my friends. I don't think they watched this. I'm almost certain they don't. But my friend Caitlin got me this really beautiful skein of Jinx yarn, and it's, let me show, let go please. Here, I need you to hold my phone and I'll show it, okay? You hold this one. Let me see this one. Okay, you hold this one too. Hold this one. I'll do this one next. Hang on, we're going to do this one next. Like, we're going to hold it up like this. So pretty. So it's like a gray purpley base with all of these beautiful speckles. And it says sport weight. And then my friend Dawn gave me a skein of Jinx self-striping in her house cup colorway, which I do not have, and I was super happy to get. And so thank you, Caitlin and Dawn, even though I don't think you guys watch this. And I even thought I was going to do like just socks, right? Because I need a whole box of Jinx socks. But I also was holding these, or set these next to each other so I could take a picture. Hold them right here, okay? Can you put it up? Yeah, there you go. Hold it like this. Wouldn't that be the cutest little, there's a sweater. I'm drawing a name on the, drawing a blank on the name. Sleep deprivation is a real thing, you guys. I have not been sleeping well since she's been born, really since I've been pregnant. But my insomnia lately has nothing to do with her. It's just like, I don't know. My rhythm is off. I need to go camping. I think that's my solution. The sweater, I'm trying to think of the name. Sock arms or little sock arms or something about sock arms, because you do like a solid body and then you do a self-striping for the arms. And so I'm almost certain it has sock arms in the name. But I thought that would be really cute. Okay, let's put it back in the box, okay? To do that. So those were my Christmas knitty gifts. A project that I worked on a lot at Christmas were the socks I showed you last time. So this is my tartan Jinx yarn in the colorway tartan, and I knit an entire sock. Let me hold it up. Okay, you hold this and I'm gonna hold the sock. Just one. One. Uh-oh. That's gonna make you mad. I'm gonna fix it. I'm going to fix it. Chill. She is a very assertive baby. She knows what she wants. She demands it be a certain way. So, oh, the project I worked on a lot during Christmas were my Jinx yarn socks. This is her tartan colorway. It's like a blackish. That's not showing up great. I wish she would give me the other one. So it's a red and green self-striping yarn that is like an overwash of black. I have no idea how she dyed this, but it blows my mind. Like, just knitting with it the entire time has been a pleasure. And I popped in this like sparkly mini that I had in my stash. I don't know where it's from. I just thought it would be fun to do like a little contrast blip of yarn. I think I was about here on the first sock the last time I showed you guys. I was using my little nutcracker from Lock and Lou, which I still completely love, and I do not want to put him away for Christmas, but I also do. That way he remains like magical and special, and I don't use up his Christmas magic. Is that even a thing? Can I use up his Christmas magic? I don't think so, right? I should use him all year. So that's how far I am on those. I used my little Chowgoo shorties on a 1.something-something-25. Look, I stole a sock from her. Just a second, let me show it. So that's showing up way better for whatever reason. Hang on. Please don't do that. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss Heel, and I did 64 stitches. I did this sock a bit shorter than, I think I did it 5 inches on the leg. I normally like about 6, but I was trying to preserve this yarn so I could use it for other things like the minis, like maybe make some other little Christmas sweater decorations or something, just because I love the yarn so much, and I want to, you know, make it into mini things, make it last. But that is that project that I worked on at Christmas. I also worked on the sweater I showed you guys last time. This is living in my Fringe Supply plaid bag. So what I've started doing is carrying around a sock and a sweater in each of my project bags. That way I can work on many different things. So I started this, and I think I was where I split for the sleeves the last time I showed you guys. So I've gotten quite a bit done. So here's where I split for the sleeves, and I knit maybe 10 inches on the body. And then I wanted to go ahead and pick up a sleeve because sleeves are something that I have a really hard time with. I have several projects on the needles right now with no sleeves, and it's ridiculous. So I went ahead and got a lot of the body done and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and knit a sleeve, finish the body, then knit the other sleeve, then knit the collar. So I picked up a sleeve. I have like a plethora of Christmas progress keepers. Oh, I got these. These are new. So I have to show you this one too. I've ordered from Lock and Lou so many times. She sent me a freebie. Ignore my nails, guys. I was staining the girls' new bunk bed, so like these nails are black with no nail polish, and I was testing out new nail polish I got, so these are painted. I'm sorry. I'm not. This is the state of my life constantly. This little guy has like a candy cane and a snowflake on his hat. I love him. Here, hold him, okay? You hold him. Do you need to go use the bathroom? We'll be right back. Okay, I know what I was talking about. This little guy. Sorry, we had to take a potty break and have a wardrobe change. I was talking about this little snowman that I love. But I also got another, you hold him, really cool set of stitch markers. So let me think of her Instagram handle. I love following her. Don't you hate that? Like one of your favorite things, or one of the favorite, like your top followers, or like one of your people that you just love hearting everything that they do and you can't think of their dang name. Tilting Planet. That's it. Yes. I thought of it. I'm telling y'all, sleep deprivation, like my brain does not work. And it doesn't help that, I don't write things down or take show notes. 2020 is my year to be better about things like that. But last year, she sold these little bows, all this to say, these little stitch markers. And I, coveted them, said, Amber, you don't need any more stitch markers, like, make do with what you have. This year, couldn't stop thinking about them, and I finally sent her a message, and I said, hey, I really need these. Please tell me you still have some. And I bought a whole set. So I got a gold and a silver and a green and a red of these beautiful, they're like little Christmas bows. Like, I can't even. And they're metal, like, they're really freaking cool. Yeah, and she's got a snowman. So I have all my little Christmas. See, here's the red one. It's really pretty. I have all my Christmas stitch markers marking my decreases on my sleeve. I am following on this cardigan the Alicia Plummer, I believe is the pattern designer. The everyday campsite cardigan. It's the campsite cardigan is the pattern I'm following. I'm just leaving out the eyelets. So she has an overall eyelet on the back of the cardigan. I just didn't do that at all. I liked the look of the cardigan. I just didn't want to do those eyelets, and so I didn't. And I did that on another sweater that I knit for Etrella that she never wears, I might add. And I liked the overall look and fit of it, except her sweater was too small for me. And so I did knit a bigger size, and this yarn will block out more too. So I got about that far on it. I do think I'm going to put this away for now until closer to Christmas, maybe work on it in July as my, Christmas in July project. But definitely, I did a lot of progress on that in the past couple of weeks, and I just, have lost steam on it like I do when I put a lot of progress in on something. Another project that I've worked on quite a bit, because I've worn it in a lot of podcast episodes, my gray blue sands cardigan. It's, black and gray, and it's stripy. I wear that thing almost every day. I'm surprised I don't have it on right now. I just happen to have this one on. I wear it to death. I'm surprised the thing doesn't have holes in it. I knit it when I was pregnant with her, and I've worn it a lot since then. So I really wanted to knit myself a couple more cardigans just to have a larger rotation. And I started this one over the summer. This was part of my souvenir yarn from Hawaii. No, don't pull on that one. I'll get it for you. Hang on. Look, you do this one. She really likes this lemon, and I don't blame her. It's my favorite one. Hang on. I got to take it off. So this lemon is let me show it first. Look. Oh, it's so sparkly and shiny. Oh, it makes my mouth water. It's from Molly of a Homespun House. Sucre Miniatures makes them for Molly of a Homespun House for her Harry Potter charm club. And I think that one's like Dumbledore's Lemon Drops or something. Maybe it's just called Lemon Drops. But, because Dumbledore loves lemon drops. And that's the reference. But here is my cardigan, my Comfort Fade cardigan. Except I am not fading it. I am just doing one solid, it's variegated. And you can see even though I was alternating skeins, those 4 skeins I was alternating were vastly different. And so there is you can't really see it that well in person. You know, things show up on the camera better or worse than they do in person, depending, I guess, on your perspective. But yeah, so I was about, I want to say, here-ish the last time I showed you guys, and now I have knit down further on the body. I might have even been like up here somewhere. I've plugged away on this guy. I really am enjoying this knit. This is Malabrigo Rios yarn. The pattern calls for DK, but I usually interchange DK and worsted and or fingering and sport with good results thus far, knock on wood. Mostly for me, when I'm knitting garments, I'm looking for just a bit of an oversized or not as fitted look for the most part. And so, yeah, it just works out. And I think that I'm using the suggested needle size. I might have even gone up. I am using a size, I can't see that, my eyes are going, size 7. I think that's what the pattern calls for. And I like the gauge that I got on that. Not that I did a gauge swatch on this particular project. But that is all living in my beautiful, hang on, did you lose it? That Crafty Fox bag. So she makes these, and she does custom orders, so you can call or like message her up at any time and get a custom order. So I love this bag. This is like a Rifle Paper Company fabric, and she does these leather handles. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like reach under and get the stitch markers that she's dropped. So what else? I have been working on, what else have I been working on? So I went through a lot of my yarn in storage right before Christmas and pulled out a hat that I crocheted a hat for my mom. And this was one of my very first good yarn projects. My first ever project was for my mom. It was a red heart scarf, crocheted scarf, and she kept it for like way too long, and I finally made her get rid of it. But then when I started using really nice yarn, I wanted to make her a project to make up for that like horrendous scarf that she kept for all these years. So I crocheted her this really cool hat that she wore for 2 years before she passed away, and her husband ended up giving me all the stuff that I'd made her back. And so I frogged the hat. I kind of wore it, but it just wasn't me. It wasn't my style. I made it for my mom. And so I, stored the hat, and I was like, man, I really love that yarn. I am just going to frog it and reuse the yarn and make something that I will actually wear. So I'm reclaiming this yarn. It is Madeline Tosh Tart. I want to say that it's probably like a sport even, just how thin it is. It might be a DK, but it's showing up a lot darker. It is one of their darker tarts that I've seen, like it has a lot of black overlay, but I am looking for a really beautiful knit. I would prefer to knit a hat. Maybe a cabled hat, but it's again like a sport DK hat, which I had a hard time finding like a cabled hat for that pattern or for that weight of yarn. So if you want to leave me a comment suggesting what I should knit with this, I would really like to do maybe like a lacy or a cable-y hat for myself. Let me know. And I probably have like maybe a little less than 200 yards here, because I do remember having leftovers but it was crocheted. So I might have probably 200 yards to just call it safe. So not a full skein is my point. I also went diving and found some projects that I wanted to talk about because I have to finish this, you guys. See this discoloration? So I spilled chocolate on it and washed it, and that happened. I'm really hoping once I wash the whole project that will come out. Again, it's not that noticeable in person. I really hate the color flashing here. I alternated skeins. It's just, I think the way I had both of them wound up, they just happened to do that. So I have a lot of gripes about this project, but it's been sitting in this state since 2017. Like, it just needs sleeves, y'all. And it fits wonderfully. It's the So Faded pullover by Andrea Mallory. I had these 3 skeins in the stash. This was like a Madeline Tosh. This was a one-off from a homespun house, and this was a Vine yarn. Like, just this mauve fade. Just needs some sleeves. So I don't know if I'm going to finish this or frog it because I don't like this, or know if this is going to resolve itself. Maybe I could do like a shawl or something with this. Oh, my baby's falling asleep. She's tired. I told her to go lay down and take a nap. She didn't want to listen. Just lay down right here, okay? Let's lay down right here. Here. Do a little pillow. We'll do a little pillow for her. We'll do a little pillow for her. Okay. Anyway, she'll sleep here better than she will if I try to go lay her down. She likes to be with her mama all the time. Her mama is her best person. So this, I'm probably leaning towards frogging it and reclaiming the yarn to go towards something else. I really don't think even if I finished it that I would wear it all that much. This is another project that's in the UFO pile because it has been on the needles since 2017 as well. This is the Little Honey, or the Not So Little Honey, by, I believe, Amy Miller. I knit this pattern for Prudence, the Little Honey, and she wore it and wore it and wore it and loved it. And I knit hers gray and pink. So I got this yarn to knit a Trello one, started her one, and ended up frogging it and starting the adult version because of her growing bust. And now, once I got to a certain point on it, she was like, Mom, I'll never wear that. So I got discouraged and put it in a box and forgot about it. And then I got it back out because Prudence will fit in this at this point. It's a little probably long on her, but she'll be able to grow into it. The yarn is gorgeous. This gray is, I didn't bring the ball over here, it's a Texas yarn. I'm totally drawing a blank. Yarn Carnival. And the blue variegated is another Texas yarn dyeing company, Night Owl Fibers, I believe. And that is the Pirate Ship colorway. Oh, and the gray is Big Bad Wolf, I think. I really loved working on this. It's such a simple pattern. The stripes make it fly. The only reason it got put away is because Atrella refused to wear it, and I didn't want to waste my time making something for somebody that just wouldn't wear it. And so knowing that Prudence wore her other version so much has re-inspired me to pick this up and finish it. I can get this sleeve picked up and get it finished for her probably before the weather turns too warm, and she'll be able to wear it for at least 2 or 3 years, I would assume, based on how much wear she got out of the last version. So those are my immediate 2020 knitting goals, is to frog and reclaim the yarn for the So Faded and to finish the striped pullover. I have also cast on a new project. Surprise, surprise. I made myself a promise that I would, for every project that I started, I would work on a sock. And then I would start putting, sock projects in every other project bag. So this is another sock that I've started and abandoned. I believe I started this sock in, I want to say 2018. For my birthday in 2018, I began this sock. And I knit it down to about the heel And I've knit the heel and the foot of this sock since picking it up since my birthday in 2019. So about a month ago, I knit all of that and then cast on. I was like, I need to cast this on or it's not going to happen. So that is in my current joyful whip that I am speeding away on. And this is my souvenir from Colorado. We went to Breckenridge for spring break and stopped in at Fancy Tiger Crafts. And so I got this bag and the yarn that I'm using for this project. And this is the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mallory. And she used 3 skeins of Spin Cycle, dyed in the wool, which is her sport weight, to create this cowl. And so that's about how far I am on it now. I am loving this pattern. It is just the amount of like textural interest that I crave, but it's completely mindless. I'm zooming along, like barely referencing the pattern. This is exactly ticking all the boxes for me currently. Not having all of the mental energy or patience to deal with a knitting pattern when all of my mental energy is going towards the season of parenting that I am in right now, which is cleaning flour out of every crevice in my pantry because somebody wanted to get it into the flour. Oh, the joys of toddlerhood. So yes, this pattern is just, and the yarn, this is my first time working with Dream, what is it called? Spin Cycle. This is my first time working with Spin Cycle. I definitely think that it's worth the hype thus far. It's just fun and, I would say magical. I know that's like just whatever marketing, but I like it. And I have my little Secra miniature hot dog on here. I think this is one of the last ones that my local yarn shop, Wet 7th Wool, had. I had to snag that. I've been having a super weird craving for hot dogs lately. I don't eat a lot of processed foods anymore. I've had to really curb my diet choices based on my health. And so I can't stomach a lot of things that I used to really enjoy, like dairy and hot dogs. But so when I saw that, I just really had to get it. Since I can't really eat hot dogs, I can enjoy a hot dog on my knitting. And no, I'm not pregnant. That's not why I'm craving hot dogs. Just so we're clear. But I also picked up these new needles from my local yarn store. These are the Addy Rocket Squared, 2 squared. You don't have to say 2 if you say squared. I don't know. I like them. They're definitely, if you get annoyed by a grippy needle, they're not for you because they're grippy. But I think that would be really enjoyable for a newbie knitter or a person who is working with like an especially slippy yarn. Or yeah, I enjoy them. They do have a bit of a drag, but the shininess of them while you're knitting really just ticks the boxes for me. They are blunter than, Chow Goose. They have the rounded Addy tips. So if you don't like the rounded Addy tips, you're not going to like these needles. That's the Addy tip. I don't mind them. They're not ever going to be like my go-to favorite needles. That being said, I will buy more of these because they are so beautiful to knit with. That little like glimmer that it gives me when I'm knitting, that right there, I'm just all about the shine. It's my mermaid soul or my like raven soul shining through. It's like, ooh, got to get that pretty. So I really enjoy knitting on this project a lot, mostly because of the needles and the hot dog, but the yarn is quite enjoyable as well. So because I was knitting away on this project, I'll go into my acquisitions now. I really wanted to, I bought this Shifty sweater pattern a while back. I think she was doing a sale and I got like a bunch of her patterns because I have so many of them in a row. So that must be what happened. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't really planning on knitting that when I bought it. But as I was knitting on this cowl, I was like, that sweater is singing to me. I would really like to knit it. And so I was kind of going through my stash, seeing what I had. I wish I had brought over the Patton's Croy that I had. And I have this really bright, crazy yarn. This is Havana by Madeline Tosh, and it's like a mint, but it's like an electric mint. It's not even going to show up well. It's like getting way washed out. Anyway, I had this earmarked for another Tegna, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, this is just so bright, like highlighter bright. I don't know that I would want just this. It needs something else to kind of tone it down or wash it out. And so I started thinking about, I had some blue Patton's Croy, and I thought I could do the shifty with this, and that would really tone it down because it's like this blue variegated Patton's Croy. But when I went to my local yarn store, they had just a few more skeins. They just recently had their end of year sale. I missed it. I didn't want to drive just to make a special trip to go to a yarn sale. That was like my only reason for driving over an hour. I didn't particularly need anything other than to spend my Christmas money, so I skipped it and then ended up spending my Christmas money anyway, without the sale, of course. But I got this spin cycle. This is some of the very last spin cycle that they had to make the sweater. So I thought this is perfect. She actually asks you to get like 3 different colors to do on a solid background, but I got the same color. And even though some of this yarn is very, very light and it's going to kind of get washed out, I think the overall effect is going to be really, really pleasant, and it's going to have like a low contrast sort of vibe. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. What do you guys think? But my New Year's goals have nothing to do with, like last year, you know, Amber, don't cast anything new on. Amber, don't buy new yarn. Amber, don't. I'm not doing that. I'm going to buy yarn. It's the fact of life. Like, come on, we're going to buy yarn. Why do we tell ourselves not to buy yarn? And I'm going to, you know, cast new things on because I have the attention span of a 3-year-old and I want to do the latest thing. So I just said, you know, I'm going to work on the things that really make me happy and try to make progress on the things that have been on the needles the longest. So as long as I'm doing those 2 things, then I'm meeting my goals. I have also bought way more yarn, and so this is going to be sort of like a glutton fest at this point. Suburban Stitcher was having an end of the year sale. Guys, I don't know what's with my brain. I'm like, ooh, a sale, I'm going to buy yarn, and I plan the yarn I'm going to buy. I missed the sale, and then I buy the yarn anyway. I'm like, oh, sorry, I missed the sale. Here's my money. But she had an end of the year sale, and I'd carted this yarn and then didn't check out or something, but I checked out the next day and I was like, oh well, missed the sale. But she dyed up this beautiful new colorway, Tuva, T-U-V-A, and it's like a greeny blue. Are we surprised? Are we surprised I like it? And I got it in the DK weight and the mohair, because I really want to reknit my Kobu cat. Okay, that's not true. Originally, I thought I was getting this yarn to knit a new pattern called the Liney. Did I print that pattern? And it didn't happen because I got the wrong weight of yarn. Because that pattern called for a fingering weight and a mohair to equal a DK, not a DK and a mohair, which is what my tired, sleep-deprived brain read. So then once I got the yarn, I was like, okay, adjust. We'll knit another Kobuk. You've been wanting to reknit that hat anyway, and I think this will be a beautiful Kobuk. And it is showing up wonderfully there. I thought it was more teal when I bought it online, but it's more green than blue, which is fine. I like both green, blue, and teal all equally the same. So, and some more yarn that I ended up getting from my local yarn store. I've been wanting to crochet the baby, one of the Toft. I have the Edwards Menagerie crochet book from Toft. They're a yarn company. I don't think that I've ever used Toft yarn. I need to change that because West 7th Wool has those kits and I need to get one. Anyway, I digress. I want to crochet her that little pig. I don't know why I got this in my head right before Christmas, right before her birthday. I was like, I'm going to crochet her a pig for her birthday. I didn't have the right color pink yarn. I put it outside my head. I was like, you know what? It's not meant to be. Forget about it. But I saw this yarn at West 7th and I said, that is the color of the pig that I want to crochet. So this is DK weight Madeline Tosh yarn, merino wool, in the colorway Scout. That's what I was going to say, right? Yeah, Scout. That's a pig. That's a real pig. He's going to be a pig. So yeah, I'm a nut, but that's going to be a pig. And then this jumped out at me. I was like, hello, gorgeous. You want to come home and be a pair of socks, don't you? And it said, yes, I do. How did you know that? This is the most gorgeous pair, perfect fingering weight skein of yarn that had to come home with me. And there's actually a skein up there still that's like electric coral, like one of these colors up here. It's like a solid. It's taunting me because I've seen it like 3 times and I'm like, I think I need that one too. But I did get this. I do want to knit a pair of socks. Tim actually saw it and he would like a knit pair of socks with it. He would definitely wear a pair of socks knit out of this yarn. So we'll see. And the last thing that I got was actually right before Christmas. All of that other, not this. This was in my stash. This doesn't count. But the Spin Cycle, the Suburban Stitcher, and the Mad Tosh has been since the 1st. You guys, I have a problem. It's the 8th. That was Christmas money, though. It doesn't count, right? Right? That's what we're saying? Okay. So I've been on the hunt for a sweater's quantity of Tarte, Madeline Tosh Tarte. And I messaged a lady who had what I wanted. It's a DK weight sweater's quantity. I think I have 7 skeins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 skeins of Tarte. And I couldn't be happier. This is one of my mom's favorite colorways that I had. I don't know why I call it that because I only had, like 7 skeins of yarn before she died, like of nice yarn. And she was like, oh, that's really beautiful. I knit her a hat and then she wanted like a pair of socks with this red color. She called it cardinal red though. That cardinal red color, Amber. So I've been wanting to knit a sweater to like remember my mom by because red was her favorite color. So I'm probably going to knit another. We'll see how the faded cardigan fits me. I'm either going to knit that or another blue sands cardigan, whichever one I like the fit better. But that is earmarked for that, and it will sit in my stash until I get through at least some of the sweaters on my needles. I don't want to cast that on yet. But the shifty sweaters, that might get cast on this week because I have no self-control. And I want to knit. Wouldn't you want to knit this? Isn't this beautiful? This is bringing me so much joy right now. Look, it even matches the bag I'm using. It's like the same color. There we go. That's showing up pretty good. Yeah, so that's all I got, you guys. I got to get this baby off my legs because my legs are like dead weight at this point. But, oh, one more thing. I printed out a bunch of patterns, and I told you guys I was trying to knit. I need your advice. I was trying to knit a pattern I was making up with this beautiful yarn. But then I was thinking about there's a cowl. So I was knitting this cowl that I'm knitting, and there's another cowl that's like mosaic knitting, and it has color work or mosaic knitting, whichever. And this is in my stash. How beautiful would that be? So I should knit that cowl, right? But then a friend of mine knit a hat. And then I thought I should knit that. And this is a free hat. So it's the quick ombre hat. And it's worsted weight, 2 colors. So maybe I should knit that hat with these 2 colors. I could probably get 2 hats in reverse order. But that's all I have for you guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.